Good morning, good morning, good morning. Whoo! Yes, sir. I hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday morning, ladies and gentlemen. June 8th. Yep, already. Next week, we'll be looking at Father's Day, Juneteenth, and all the other celebrations that's going to go on next week. But hey, this morning, again, I'm going to try to be brief. I kind of work on that. But what I want to talk to you about is I had some conversations last week with a couple of different individuals. Actually, first I want to say a couple of happy birthdays to Sharice Bird. Happy birthday. My man Sean Stallings. Happy birthday. My man Glenn. Happy birthday. And a special shout out tomorrow to one of our past masters, past master KP's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Wait, this morning I want to talk about I'm going to summarize a topic that I've been having with a lot of different individuals. And I want to talk about is you are enough. Now, why is that significant? Because the conversations that I had with individuals, whether or not they had a father in their life, maybe they didn't grow up maybe they grew up without their father, maybe their father was in their life, but there wasn't no transfer, maybe their moms wasn't really there. And what happens is sometimes as we get older, we contemplate whether or not, based upon what we didn't have, are we enough now, because we may be moving into that same level of responsibility that our parents had when we felt that they didn't transfer what we felt or what we feel that we need or needed at that particular time. So the areas I want to talk about is number one, business, kind of business and work. Right? Because sometimes in business, especially with the internet and all of the social media, you may feel that your business is not doing enough, or you're comparing your business to somebody else's business on social media, right? And then you're looking at, oh man, they posting every day, they got a lot, seem like they got more clients than I have, and or if it's a podcast, well, their podcast looks better than mine. Their scenery and their setup is better than mine. Like, we get into this back and forth thing about comparing, thinking that what we have and where we're starting is not enough. Then sometimes on that work side, right, you may have a responsibility, at your job, but, maybe your boss don't feel that, you're doing it the way he feels or she feels you should do it, but you're doing your best. So sometimes we get into this, well, I'm not so sure, and then it starts to kind of chip away on our self-esteem in all these particular areas. This morning, I just want to share with you that no matter your circumstances, no matter what goes on around you, no matter what happened prior to you before now, I'm here to tell you this morning that you are more than enough. Well, Thomas, how do you know that? I know that because you have the ability to be and do exactly what your mind and what your heart feels that you can do and that you're doing. The challenge is sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we look outside of ourselves and don't look internal to realize we have all that we need to get the job done. So sometimes we live our lives in the past, right? Meaning some things that, again, that we didn't have, we think we should have had. We're trying to live our life going forward based upon the data and information in the past, right? So if you just kind of stop and stay in the present, like right here, right now, you have everything that it takes to have a good business, to be the best individual at work based upon your level of responsibility, right? Instead of comparing yourself to those around you, right? Maximize where you are with what you have. But the key to that is to go internal, because sometimes we don't look at what we have. We focus on what we don't have, meaning you're thinking that you don't have what your coworker has, right? You don't have what that other business have, not realizing you have that and more. if you just turn around and look at yourself and go a little bit deeper to become the individual that you know and I know that you can become. The second thing is relationships, right? Sometimes inside of relationships, there's a level of low self esteem, again, where we just think that, based upon the other individual's accolades or things that they've accomplished or maybe worldview, maybe they travel more, like all these external things that go on around us, we just think that we're not good enough or we're not enough, right? So now here comes a level of insecurity kind of disguised as competition, right? Now you want to kind of compete to be like or to show that you're better than somebody else. See, all those things, ladies and gentlemen, are external to you. And then sometimes we look at social media, Facebook, Instagram, all these other platforms, and then we sit there and we judge and we kind of try to mirror what we see, not realizing a lot of that stuff, ladies and gentlemen, is just smoke and mirrors, right? If you was actually sit down with some of these influencers that you think that are doing so well in life, and you realize, man, their life is not all that it's cracked up to be, but they do a great job in masking it and painting this picture, and it's a mirage of what their reality really consists of. So inside of relationships, I promise you, you are enough. You have everything that you need to have a successful relationship, to have a successful marriage, right? Because sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, the things that we know we can do, we kind of shy back and shy away from because we always, or sometimes we look for and wait for confirmation. And then when we don't get confirmation, we question it, right? Or somewhere I read in that Matthew area, it says ask and you shall receive. It says seek and you shall find. It says knock and the door shall be open, and it shall be open unto you, right? So are you asking for those things? Or you just kind of hoping and wishing, right? And then are you seeking? When you understand the etymology of the word seek, it's an action word, right? If you're seeking something, guess what? You have to move, ladies and gentlemen. Are we just sitting there waiting? Nah, that's not going to cut it. Well, if we understand that we are enough, and if we ask, and if we go to seek, you will find that you have everything that you need to be the person that your creator has destined for you to be. And then last but not least is our calling. Your calling / or your gifting. Had a conversation with a friend of mine, Kat, and we was talking about kind of the difference between your calling and your gifting. And we was talking about how your gifting, like the things that you're naturally gifted in, can help propel your calling, the things that you're called to do. The things that you're called to do, ladies and gentlemen, is outside of you, right? So again, I said this before in Rick Warren's book, The Purpose-Driven Life. First chapter, the first thing he says is, it's not about you. I'm going to say it again for those in the back. It's not. This life is not about you. I want to challenge you this morning to understand that. And then inside of your gifting, inside of your calling, find those who you can help with the things that your creator naturally placed inside of you. And when you realize those things, our things that inside of us are for other people, it changes your philosophy. It changes your view. Why? Because most of the time, we think that the things that we have, the things that we can do is about us. And it's really not, ladies and gentlemen, because you have something special inside of you. You are enough based upon the things that your creator has placed inside of you to help facilitate your gifting for your calling to help those who he has assigned to us. It's a big difference in just going around trying to compare yourself to somebody else and then thinking you're not enough or you're not good enough and all of these negative thoughts, not realizing that you are enough, right? You do have what it takes. You are that person. But it first starts with the man in the mirror. Can you look in the mirror and honestly say that you have what it takes to get the job done? Well, on this Sunday morning, I just want to drop in and just let you know that you are enough. Ladies and gentlemen, go out there on this Sunday morning and be great on purpose. Until we speak again, peace.